Hello everyone, welcome back to today's class. This is the third lecture for the chapter electricity. So let's begin. So in today's lecture we will going to study about Ohm's law. Okay, again क्या है Ohm's law, किसने दिया है, क्या होता है, ये सब हम इस lecture में पढ़ेंगे. So before that, let's do an activity to understand what is exactly Ohm's law. So हम एक activity करेंगे. ये एक setup है. This is a circuit. This is a circuit diagram. This is a battery, okay, a cell. This is a nichrome wire. This one is a nichrome wire. Nichrome wire से हमने attach किया है voltmeter, so that we can study the potential difference across the nichrome wire. To that we have connected an ammeter in series and a key. Okay, so what we do now is कि सबसे पहले हम क्या करेंगे कि एक cell लगाएंगे, one cell. Okay, so we can make a table over here, number of cells V and I. Okay, so we apply a single cell, one cell, and say we note the reading for the potential difference for the voltmeter and we note the reading for the ammeter. Say the reading for the voltmeter was 5 volt and the reading for the ammeter was say 10 amperes. Okay, now what we do is we add one more cell to this. Now number of cells are 2. Now we note the reading for the voltmeter and the ammeter. Say now the reading for the voltmeter was 10 volt and the reading for the ammeter was 20 ampere. Okay. Say we add one more cell to this. Now say the number of cells are 3. Say the reading for the voltmeter has now increased to 15 volt and the reading for the ammeter has now increased to 30 ampere. So see, as we go on increasing the number of cells, जैसे जैसे हम number of cells increase करते जा रहे हैं, voltmeter और ammeter दोनों की readings जो है वो क्या होती जा रही है, increase होती जा रही है. The value for V, potential difference, is also increasing and the value for I, current, is also increasing. So potential difference और current दोनों की values जो है वो increase होती जा रही है. Now if we take the ratio for potential difference to current, okay, so in first case V upon I. In first case, the ratio is 5 upon 10, which is 1 upon 2. In second case, the ratio is 10 upon 20, which is also 1 upon 2. And in the third case, it is 15 upon 30, which is also 1 upon 2. So we note that the ratio of potential difference to current is always nearly constant, remains constant, which means that potential difference and current are directly proportional to each other. Since their ratio is constant, we can conclude that potential difference and current, they both are directly proportional to each other. Means अगर एक value बढ़ रही है तो दूसरी value भी उसके साथ proportionality में increase हो रही है. So this is an activity. Following this, in 1827, a German scientist, George Simon Ohm, he gave a relationship between potential difference and current. He said that the potential difference across the two ends of the conductor is directly proportional to the current. Okay, so the scientist George Simon Ohm, he gave a relationship between potential difference and current. So what did he say? That the potential difference across the two ends of the conductor is directly proportional to the current wherein the temperature remains constant. Such that. Okay. So the condition is the temperature remains constant. If the temperature is maintained constant, then the potential difference across the two ends of the conductor is directly proportional to the current. ठीक है, यही हमने इस एक्टिविटी से भी देखा. जब हम उस नाइक्रोम वायर के दो एंड्स पे पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस मेजर कर रहे थे, तो वो पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस और करंट दोनों क्या आ रहे थे, डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल. मतलब एक इंक्रीज हो रहा था तो दूसरा भी उसके साथ प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी में इंक्रीज हो रहा था. सो V इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू I. ओके, प्रोपोर्शनैलिटी का साइन हटाएंगे तो इक्वल्स टू के साथ क्या लगाएंगे, कांस्टेंट एंड I. ओके, नाउ हियर द कांस्टेंट इज R, which is the resistance. R is known as the resistance. Okay, so R is the resistance. Now what is resistance? This we will study. So this law is known as the Ohm's law. ठीक है, इसे Ohm's law कहा जाता है. And this is the relationship for Ohm's law. Now what is resistance? Resistance. From the name itself we can see what do you mean by resist. Resist means to obstruct something. किसी भी चीज को रोकना, obstruct करना, रुकावट. Resist means रोकना, किसी भी चीज को रुकावट, obstruct करना. So resist means to obstruct. अब यहाँ पर किस चीज को obstruct किया जा सकता है? Obstruct हम रोक किस चीज को सकते हैं? जो चीज मूवमेंट में हो उस चीज को हम क्या कर सकते हैं, रोक सकते हैं. सो हियर जो चीज मूवमेंट में है वो क्या है, चार्जेस, द फ्लो ऑफ चार्जेस. सो व्हाट कैन बी ऑब्स्ट्रक्टेड, व्हाट कैन बी ऑब्स्ट्रक्टेड, ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट किस चीज को किया जा सकता है, रेजिस्ट किस चीज को किया जा सकता है, जो चीज मूवमेंट में हो. सो व्हाट कैन बी ऑब्स्ट्रक्टेड, द फ्लो ऑफ चार्जेस. तो रेजिस्टेंस is a property which obstructs the flow of charges. ठीक है, तो रेजिस्टेंस एक ऐसी प्रॉपर्टी है एक कंडक्टर की जो क्या करता है, चार्जेस के फ्लो को ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट करता है, which obstructs the flow of charges, which resists the flow of charges, जो चार्जेस को फ्लो होने से रोकता है. That is known as resistance. Okay. So V equals to IR, where R is the resistance, it is the obstruction in the flow of charges. Okay. Now, what is this obstruction due to? ये जो charges है ये obstruct क्यों हो रहे हैं, ये क्यों होते हैं? तो जो electrons है, the electrons which are flowing, the flow of electrons is not very smooth. ठीक है, जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं वो बहुत ज्यादा फ्रीली मूव नहीं करते, दस मूवमेंट जो है वो इतना ज्यादा स्मूथ नहीं है. व्हाट हैपेंस कि एक कंडक्टर में देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ एटम्स. ओके, बहुत सारे एटम्स होते हैं. अब जब एक इलेक्ट्रॉन इस कंडक्टर में से फ्लो होता है फ्रॉम वन टर्मिनल टू अनदर, या जहां पे भी वो फ्लो हो रहा है, सो जब ये इलेक्ट्रॉन फ्लो होता है, व्हेन इट फ्लोज, व्हेन इट मूव्स, तो ये क्या करता है, इट इज अट्रैक्टेड बाय द एटम्स. एटम्स क्या करते हैं, इसको अट्रैक्ट करते हैं. बिकॉज ऑफ दिस फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन ड्यू टू एटम्स, द फ्लो ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन इज रिस्ट्रिक्टेड. ठीक है, सो द फ्लो ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन इज रिस्ट्रेन्ड because of the attraction due to the atoms. Okay, at this level this much of explanation is enough. In detail you can explain in I will explain in later videos. Okay, so जो इलेक्ट्रॉन है वो फ्लो क्यों नहीं हो पाता फ्रीली, वो फ्रीली क्यों नहीं फ्लो हो पाता, बिकॉज ऑफ द एटम्स सराउंडिंग द इलेक्ट्रॉन. जो आसपास के एटम्स हैं जो इलेक्ट्रॉन को सराउंड कर रहे हैं, उन एटम्स में न्यूक्लियस है. ठीक है, न्यूक्लियस में प्रोटॉन्स, न्यूट्रॉन्स, न्यूक्लियॉन्स जिन्हें हम बोलते हैं न्यूक्लियॉन्स हैं. Those nucleons exert a force of attraction which is known as a nuclear charge on the electron. Due to this force of attraction, the movement of the electron is not so free and is restrained or restricted. Okay? So this is the reason for the resistance inside a conductor. Okay, so we have seen that the motion of electrons inside a conductor is retarded by its resistance. ठीक है, जो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स का मोशन है वो क्यों कम हो जाता है, रुक जाता है, कम हो जाता है, रेजिस्ट हो जाता है, क्योंकि उसके आसपास के जो एटम्स है उसकी वजह से इलेक्ट्रॉन का जो मोशन है वो रिटार्ड हो जाता है. एंड दिस इज नोन एज रेजिस्टेंस. ओके, अ सब्सटेंस व्हिच ऑफर्स low resistance, very low resistance, is a good conductor. Okay, a substance which offers an appreciable resistance, मतलब resistance offered जो करता है, अच्छा resistance बोलते हैं. appreciable resistance means कि जो एक अच्छा खासा resistance offer करे, that is known as a resistor. Okay, and a substance which offers a little high resistance, that is known as a poor conductor. And substances which offers highest resistance, those are known as insulators. Okay, so these are the type of substances depending upon the resistance, depending upon the obstruction in flow of current. Okay, let's summarize. What is resistance? It is the obstruction in flow of charges. Flow of charges means flow of electrons. The flow of electron is restricted or restrained or obstructed. Why? Because of the atoms surrounding it. जो एटम्स होते हैं आसपास के वो क्या करते हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के ऊपर न्यूक्लियर चार्ज लगा के उसको अपनी तरफ अट्रैक्ट करते हैं, ड्यू टू विच द मोशन ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन इज रिस्ट्रेन्ड और रिटार्डेड. इफ द मोशन ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन इज रिटार्डेड, रिस्ट्रेन्ड, then obviously the flow of the current will be resisted. Okay, so what is resistance? It is the obstruction in flow of current or obstruction in flow of charges. Okay, coming back to the formula for Ohm's law. We know that V is directly proportional to I. So if you plot a graph of V against I, so we get a straight line for a proportional, because V is directly proportional to I, both are directly proportional. So the ratio of V and I is always constant. Okay, V equals to IR and I is equal to V upon R. This R will go into the denominator. So I equals to V upon R. So as we can see that I and R are inversely proportional, means if the resistance increases, the current will decrease. Obviously from the definition of resistance, what is resistance? It is the obstruction in flow of current. करंट को फ्लो होने में जो रोके, रुकावट, that is known as resistance. तो अगर रुकावट बढ़ जाएगी तो करंट कम हो जाएगा, क्योंकि ज्यादा रोकेंगे तो करंट कम फ्लो होगा. ठीक है, तो रेजिस्टेंस इंक्रीजेस, करंट डिक्रीजेस. ओके, एंड इफ if there is low resistance, less resistance, then the current increases. Okay. So if the resistance is less, current is more. If the resistance is more, current is less. So current and resistance both are inversely proportional. Now, if we can change the resistance without changing the voltage source, okay, so there is a device with the help of which we can change the resistance without changing the voltage source. Okay, so voltage source means cell, battery, anything like that. So we can change the resistance without changing the voltage source, without changing the cell or battery. So how can we change? कैसे change कर सकते हैं? We can change with the help of an instrument called rheostat. Okay, this is known as variable resistor. So this is a resistor whose value can be varied, can be changed. So rheostat, with the help of a rheostat, we can change the resistance in the circuit. Okay. So we can change the resistance in the circuit with the help of rheostat without changing the voltage source, which is the cell or battery. So without changing the cell or battery, we can change the resistance with the help of rheostat. This is known as a variable resistor because in this the value of resistance can be varied. Okay. So we can vary the value of resistance. The symbol for a rheostat is this. And the symbol for a resistor is this. Okay. The SI unit of resistance for resistance is 1 ohm. And ohm, this is denoted by Greek letter omega. Okay. V equals to IR. R is equal to V upon I. Okay. So 1 ohm is 1 volt upon 1 ampere. Okay. If the potential difference across two ends of the conductor is 1 volt and the current flowing through it is 1 ampere, then the resistance is known as 1 ohm. Okay. So this is all with today's lecture. In next class, we will be learning about factors affecting the resistance.